Hello student, again we are here with the continuation of your previous topic that we had discussed, that was a central dogma, right? In that I have told you there is a DNA, and DNA is going to copy its information in the form of RNA, and RNA is going to make a building plan for that in the form of protein, right? So it is a central dogma in the organism. Those who are having a genetic material as a RNA, there is a additional one thing is there, that is a reverse transcription. Means first the RNA will change into the DNA, or you can say RNA copy its information into the DNA, then DNA again make the again go to the transcription and make the information in the form of RNA. So it was there. Now before that, listen carefully what happens actually. This is actually we are talking about the molecular basis of inheritance. Means whatever we are saying related to the inheritance. Means basically we are at that point where we are saying actually, okay, this is the way by that characters are passing from one generation to the next generation at the molecular level, right? So it means, and now you know very well, okay, this is the DNA only which is having all the store information, and that information come in the way that we are saying now as central dogma, right? So first thing is how, means the DNA is there. Now what if the information is coming to the offspring? It means there should be a copy of DNA that present in where, in the parents, and that copy come to the offspring. Right, again I repeat what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say, if the parents is giving the information and that information is stored in the DNA, or DNA is not going anywhere, right? So it means DNA, there should be a extra copy that is going to make inside the parent cell, and that copy will come to the offspring, right? So this is actually known as the replication, right? What is replication? Replication is the processing of a Xerox copy, you can say, or a copying of any substance or any molecule, that we call as a replication. But when we are talking about the molecular basis of inheritance, that time actually we are talking about the copying of information in the form of by the DNA. It means what should be replicate, which copy should be made in the parent cell, that is actually DNA. So that process is actually known as a replication of DNA. Right, so this is the topic. Now replication, it means to replicate, or you can say make the copy, right? So if this is the DNA, so DNA is going to replicate, DNA make its copy. Now this is the original copy, right? And this where in the parent cell, and this is going to make another copy, and that will come to the offspring. So that process is actually known as a replication of DNA. Now point was this, when this first step to begin with the central dogma was that, what is that? The replication of DNA. So now central dogma is something like this: DNA, right, replication. DNA is going to replicate, right, make a copy of DNA. Then it make the mRNA by processes transcription, as I told you, and mRNA make a building plan by a process that is known as the translation, and make what? Make the protein related to the corresponding enzyme that is going to express the gene or phenotype of that gene, right? So this is now central dogma. Now point is this, when this thing came in picture, that time there was how the DNA replicate, right? The next question was that how the DNA replicate, how the replication take place, how the replication take place. So there was a number of theory, how the, right? So there was a number of theory. Someone was saying it's a conservative way, right? someone is saying it's a dispersive way, and there is a very prominent and very proved or very convinced you can say theory that was given by the again Watson and Crick, those who has proposed a double helical structure of the DNA. They again proposed what the replication of DNA done by a process. That process is known as a semi-conservative replication of DNA. So actually replication of DNA always take place by the semi-conservative way. So replication of DNA take place by a process that we know as a semi-conservative replication, right? So this is the way. Now what is the meaning of conservative? What is the meaning of dispersive? Now point is this, when we are talking about the means replication, now you are very clear with this. Okay, replication means the making a copy. DNA is making its own copy. So how the DNA is making its own copy? So this, for that there was a three theories were there. Someone saying conservative, someone is dispersive, someone was saying semi-conservative. This is the most prominent and promising concept for the replication of DNA. Semi-conservative, conserve means हो गया preserve, right? To preserve anything. Semi means half. So whenever DNA is replicate, half of the portion is coming from the original DNA and the half it's make a new one. So that was the original concept, that was the most accepted concept for the replication of DNA. How it takes place, that we will discuss in this video. Conservative principle is saying that the DNA is going to be replicated as such. Means, for example, if this is a double helical DNA and when there is a replicate form, means from this DNA there is a formation of a two daughter DNA. The same DNA means if the both strand is having a same kind of base pair, the same will come into these two, means exact copy will come into the next two DNA that is made by this parent DNA. So that is a conservative way. Dispersive means whatever the strand they are having, there is a mixing of any strand, there is any correction is done in that DNA sequence, in the base pair of the DNA sequence, that will pass as such. Means there is a mixing of the two different type of DNA strand in a single DNA, and that by that way there is a replication take place, right? So but these two theories were completely discarded. How? Again there is one experiment, by that we are going to prove it. So now there is this is the most accepted concept that we call as a semi-conservative replication of DNA. Now what is the meaning of this semi-conservative? For example, if this is the DNA, right? When and DNA, you know, this is what double helical structure means. This is a one helix and this is one is a second helix, right? When there is a replication take place, means there is a separation of these two strands of DNA. So this is the one strand and this is another strand of DNA. So this is what, this is when there is a separation between the two double helical strand of DNA. So both the strand is going to be separated, and these separated strands behave as a template strand. What we call them? We call it template strand. Right? What is the meaning of template? You should be very clear with this. What is the meaning of template? Template means, for example, if we are going to a Xerox shop, right, and we want to make a Xerox to any paper, so that time what we used to give them, we used to give them the paper that is required to be Xerox. So whenever we get the copy, that is the Xerox copy of that original paper, right? So in the replication of DNA, that original paper is this separated strand of the original DNA. So this is what we call as a template, right? Now what is there, when we talked about the DNA structure, that time I have told you these both the strands are anti-parallel to each other, right? What is the meaning of this? A is there. If A is there, the opposite helix is having a T, right? So this is the meaning of this A T anti-parallel structure, right? So this we call as a template. template means the original strand of the that DNA. So when whatever the base pair is present in this, and this is the tendency of DNA, always it try to make it's a double helical structure, right? So what happened in the cell, with the help of the other base pairs that present in that cytoplasm of this cell, they make the opposite strand of the DNA. They make what? They make the opposite strand of the DNA. So in this you can say there is a formation of a two DNA from the parent DNA. And how it is possible? It is possible by the replication of this DNA, means there is a separation of the two strand of DNA, means there is a breaking of the hydrogen bonding, and by breaking of the hydrogen bonding there is a separation of the two strand of the DNA, and the opposite strand made by DNA to make it a double standard. The opposite one is the anti-parallel or complementary to the template. So this is the meaning of template. So this is the way by that replication of DNA take place for the starting of the central dogma, you can say, for the process of the inheritance at the molecular level. Now how we are going to prove it? So if the something is proposed, that should be proved by something. So there was a person, name of this person was a Michelson and Stahl. So experimental proof for the DNA replication was done by Michelson and Stahl. So these were the two persons, those proposed an experiment. What they did actually, they took a E. coli bacteria, right? E. coli bacteria, and bacteria, you know now very well, DNA is having what? DNA is having a nitrogen bases, right? So what they did, they just grow this E. coli bacteria in a two type of medium. They took just isotope of nitrogen, means they took a medium that is having a ammonium chloride, right? Ammonium chloride. But there was an isotope. One in the one culture N was 50, means heavy isotope of the nitrogen was there, and one was having a normal nitrogen, right? So this is the culture medium in that E. coli bacteria started growing by these persons. And they started to grow generation to generation to generation. Now what happened? You know very well, nitrogen is a what? Nitrogen is a part of DNA. If E. coli bacteria start growing in this medium, it means the DNA is having a what kind of isotope of nitrogen? That is a N50. Right? If the E. coli bacteria is in this medium, it means that is having what? N14. So this is a culture medium in that these E. coli bacteria started to grow. Right? Now after that, how he will get to know, okay, this is a N15, means there is a formation of the whatever E. coli bacteria is growing in that, this is the N15, that N15 isotope is there in the DNA or in the N14. So for that there is a something, there is a one process that you know very well, centrifugation. In that there is a churning of the solution, and by that we will get the heavier and the lighter solution separately. So that also will come in this topic. So now what is there? What they did, they just took the E. coli bacteria, started to grow in two of the medium. One was a heavy isotope of the nitrogen, that is having a N15, right? One was having a normal nitrogen. In both the culture medium, the E. coli bacteria start growing, right? After that they were doing it continuously, generation to generation. It means in this E. coli bacteria, in this culture medium, the bacteria was having a DNA that is heavy isotope, means they are heavier, in the DNA is heavier. And in this E. coli bacteria, the DNA is lighter. How we get to know? For that I was saying there is a process. So in that there is a centrifugation is a process, in that there is a what? Churning of the solution, right? So what happened due to that, there is, if this is a centrifugation and both the things are mixing, they are churned. So what happened? Those who are heavier, they will not go far away from the center, but those who are lighter in weight, they will go far away. So in this we can say, if this is a centrifugation, result in this is the center, right? In surrounding the center there is the formation of a thick line, right? We can differentiate there was what there are the two type of lines came over there, or there is a two type of accumulation of the things were there. So by that they got to know that the heavier one is settled more towards the center and lighter one will go far away from the center, right? So heavier one is what? Heavier one is the N15, lighter one is the N14. So by this we can differentiate between the heavier isotope DNA or the lighter DNA, right? So this is the way. So they did it. After that what they did, they just transfer this N14, means they generated this kind of bacteria continuous in generation to generation. Why I'm saying generation to generation? To make it sure that all the bacteria which they are going to pour in this medium, they are having what? They are having just a N15 DNA, right? So that's why they took it's a generation to generation. After that what happened? After that they just transfer this N15 DNA containing bacteria into the N14 medium, and they settled them and started to divide. Means now in the culture medium that is having a N14 E. coli bacteria, in that medium they just transfer the N15 containing bacteria also, and they allow them to divide, right? And there is a one property of E. coli bacteria, in after every 20 minutes they divide. It means the formation of a new daughter cell take place after 20 minutes, each 20 minutes. So they just started to do it, and they just after the every 20 minutes they just take out the bacteria colony from there and separated the DNA and examine. Again after 40 minutes they again took out that bacterial colony and extract the DNA and study. So this was the setup done by them for the experiment. So this is the experiment procedure, right? And what they will get to know, what was the observation, that we will see in the next video. Okay, thank you.